Hello and welcome. This is Corey from Health and Fitness After 50. So I'm going to give you an update on my progress in the areas of diet and exercise. Back in early 2023, I was about 200 pounds. I'm currently 5 feet 8, or maybe 5'7", somewhere between there. And I wanted to get down to, say, the 170s. That was my goal at the time, the beginning of 2023. So I was 195 officially at the beginning of my exercise program on March 26th. So I was 195, and I wanted to get down to, I wanted to lose like the last 20 pounds. And during that time, I was doing a predominantly low-carb diet, carnivore keto style diet with really low carbs, and it really served me well because I took 20 pounds off pretty easily in just a couple months, actually, in just a few months, maybe 3 months or so. And so you can see my progress from March to May, just this 2-month period. I went down from 182 to like 175. So I achieved my goal. I achieved my goal weight. I looked great at 175. It was summertime. I was spending a lot of time outdoors. At that time, I was doing a fair amount of cardio. I was jogging usually a mile a day, a lot of cardio. Remember, I had only been working out for 2 months at that time, and this working out consisted of going to the gym about 3 times a week. And it did me great. It did me very well. I look great in this after photo here at 175 in May. Well, here's the problem. The problem is that the keto and carnivore style diet that I was on, I think just served a means to an end. It basically got me down to that weight I wanted to be at. And without serious resistance training, I would have just continued to lose weight and even lose muscle. So I didn't want to lose any muscle. Remember that I'm 60 years old. And this is the main reason why I began my exercise program, was because I wanted to do something serious about my health and really step up the resistance training. Well, now fast forward 7 more months. Now from May, I was at my lightest. I was 175. Then sort of inadvertently, I wasn't really planning on gaining. I just wanted to maintain and just do resistance training and just see what happens. So I was not consciously on, on a bulking kind of diet, but it just sort of worked out that way. And I was lifting weights for maybe a couple more months, and then around the end of the summer, around August or September, I decided on a big change in my exercise program. I decided that, the weights and going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week and having to get machines or wait for particular exercise machines, it kind of just took time away from my life. And so I ended up just getting a pull-up bar and in my own doorway here in my room. And then eventually, shortly thereafter, I purchased some rings and put some rings on there and started ring training. Well, the most amazing thing happened. I actually started training with rings on an almost daily basis. I do, take a day off here and there, but mostly I train daily, not at the same intensity, some days lighter than other days. But I love gymnastic rings. I think they are the best equipment ever invented. And I think that I would rather look like a gymnast than look like a weightlifter. And so for that reason, that was my particular opinion. I've always loved the look of gymnasts, and I've loved that strong yet lean and tight kind of look. I like that better than the big, bulky kind of look that you get from lifting heavy weights and that's all you do. So I've been doing ring training only seriously for now, as I speak, for about 3 months, maybe perhaps 4 months at the most. And in this 3 or 4 month period, I've just undergone just an amazing transformation that I don't think I necessarily would have done with just weights on a traditional sort of plan, like 3 or 4 days a week in the gym, and changing up the exercises. So when I do ring training, usually I just do full body training. I do just a variety of different exercises. Sometimes I just make them up off the spot. I also learn a lot about various exercises on YouTube from experts who really know what they're doing. And I've taken the gymnastic rings and I've just basically just made that my own way of training. I do some dumbbells, but 95% of my training is rings. I do some cardio too. I do some walking. And the amazing thing is that in these last 3 months, as I speak, from September to December, I made a change of 7 pounds. I actually gained over 7 pounds in 3 months. Now, for most people, okay, take your average person my age, middle-aged person, 60 years old, or even over the hill. 60 is really over the hill. It's not middle-aged anymore. Take somebody my age and give them 3 months' time and watch them gain 7 pounds. I guarantee that 7 pounds will be predominantly fat, almost all fat, especially if they are not working out or exercising. Now, in my case, in that 3-month period, I gained over 7 pounds. I gained 7.5 pounds. But one would think, 7.5 pounds is just all fat, or it's mostly fat and hardly any muscle. No, when you actually look at the two photos, you can see an amazing thing. A really perplexing thing happens. As in the first photo from September, I was 180. I felt pretty good then. For that time, I was pretty bulked. You know, you could see I was my muscles were rippling a little bit. You could see my pecs, my pecs were pretty big. My chest was good. Yeah, I was looking good. I liked it. I liked the feel and the look when I was 180. But then now, and you would look at that, and when you look at that photo from 180, you think, I could lose a few pounds. If I went down to 175 or 170, I'd be ripped. You'd see my abs and see all my muscles, and I'd be totally ripped. But no, that's not really the way it works. I train really hard on the rings, doing suspension training and all sorts of things almost daily for 3 months solid. That's almost all I did. A lot of core exercises. I started incorporating more sit-ups and a lot of more core exercises on the ground. Also some ring core exercises. Many of the exercises on the rings automatically engage your core anyway. So you basically are going to use your core with pretty much anything you do on the rings anyway. And so this training actually led to a 7-pound gain. 7-pound weight gain. Yet I wasn't intentionally trying to gain weight through my diet. I was just trying to maintain my weight and add some muscle. And what happened through that 3-month period of intense ring training is, it's just so amazing. When I look at these photos, you look at the second one you look at the one when I'm 187, which was just this morning. And you look at it and you think, and you compare it to the first one when I was 180 3 months ago. And you think, just can't be true. I'm over 7 pounds heavier, but I look lighter. How is that even possible? I look lighter. Now, my theory is that if I tried to bulk up doing traditional weights, squats, deadlifts, all the compound lifts, and I started eating a lot to try to gain weight, and I tried to bulk up doing the traditional bodybuilding type routines. I most definitely would have gained weight also, but I would have looked much bulkier. I may have gained more muscle, I don't know, but I would have looked much bulkier. I like the feeling of the rings, because with ring training, it's not so static. Like with a pull-up bar, you can only do this or this or this. With rings, you can actually engage. You can engage your muscles, and you can turn them in angles that you don't usually get on traditional weights and on static pull-up bars. So one of the great things about rings that I discovered was you can do just dozens and dozens of really helpful exercises that you feel like you're engaging your muscles, you're getting muscle training, muscle strength training, but at the same time, your tendons and your ligaments inside are strengthening as well. So I feel like even though I'm not bulky in the second photo when I'm 187, it looks like I didn't gain any muscle. When you look at it, when it looks like I'm more muscular in the first photo than in the second photo. But that can't be true, because my waist is thinner proportionally, and I have a better body composition in general. So I've gained muscle and lost fat in the second photo over 3 months of just doing ring training. And so what the rings do is it gives you a streamlined look that is strong, flexible, but not bulky at the same time. And I love the feeling, because right now, like as I'm speaking, I have total control over many of my muscles that I didn't have control over before. Like I can like tighten tighten all my leg muscles, for instance. I can tighten my arm muscles in certain places where I can have total control of my contractions over my muscles. So I feel like the rings have really done wonders for my muscle control and the movements. I do feel a lot of tension. I'll be sore the next day. Sometimes if I did a really heavy workout one day, I'll take a day or maybe even 2 days off. Usually I'll just take a day off and I'll be fine the next day. And my training usually is most of my training is done in the morning, but oftentimes I'll do afternoons, or sometimes I'll do split training. I'll do maybe 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon. It doesn't take that long for a really good ring workout. My morning routine only usually takes about 10 minutes, and I'm nice and warmed up, and then I'll go for a walk and I'll come back, and maybe later that afternoon I'll do some more heavy rings, more heavy, kind of more intense training. But one of the things I love about the rings that I like better than traditional weights is you don't have to worry about sets and reps. All you have to worry about is time under tension and achieving good form in your exercises. If you do those two things, if you achieve really good form in your exercise, and you always strive for more or better time under tension, you are guaranteed results. And so I really feel like the rings have done wonders, just absolute wonders for my fitness. I'm 60, but I feel, and I feel as though I look like I'm maybe 40 or maybe even 35. So it really has done wonders. So if you're interested in this kind of fitness, if you're tired of traditional weights and sets and reps, 3 sets of 10, and then you have to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're just tired of all that sort of regimen, all you have to do is set up some rings. Get yourself a pull-up bar if you don't have one yet. And on the pull-up bar, set up your rings and start following my videos. I have videos on my channel that will help you help beginners up through the intermediate level in learning these ring exercises. Also, if you want to get really advanced, I would highly suggest there's many other YouTube channels, excellent channels of people, athletes who know much more about rings than I do. So I would suggest consulting them also. But if you want to see just a normal guy, a normal person, 60 years old, who is not a professional athlete, but I'm getting in the best shape of my life. If you want to get in the best shape of your life along with me, then I would suggest following my videos on health and fitness after 50. And just go in there. A lot of them are shorts. You can just watch a short and learn how to do a particular exercise. I have links below this video where you can get the pull-up bar and get the rings. And it's really great. I would highly recommend this type of training. Remember that you need to do what you want to do. So for me, my particular goal was to look more like a gymnast. And in order to look more like a gymnast, even at my old age of 60, to look more like a gymnast, I need to train like a gymnast. And so no longer am I doing sets and reps. Well, I do sometimes. I supplement my rings with dumbbell training, mostly light dumbbells, but I have some heavy dumbbells I like to do shoulder shrugs with, for example. But it really will do wonders for you if you do daily ring training. I guarantee that you will feel stronger, you will feel more flexible, you will be able to move with more confidence, you'll be much more strong in the upper body. So like, say if you were to fall down, I was just thinking about this just this morning. I was getting into the shower and I was thinking, man, what if oh, and by the way, I have a little injury right now in my lower back here. I was doing some lunges the other day and I was doing deep lunges. I really shouldn't have done them. It really aggravated my sciatica nerve here. So anyway, I was thinking, and when I was getting in the shower this morning, I was thinking, well, what would happen if I slipped and fell? You know, like a lot of elderly people will slip and fall, and that will be, the beginning of the end of their life. Well, here's the thing. I'm so strong in my upper body now. Like my push-ups and pull-ups, and I just feel strength coming out of my upper body from these rings. It really, if I were to fall, heaven forbid, it would be pretty easy for me to get up, if I weren't knocked out, because I have such strength in my arms. I can easily get up. So I wouldn't be one of those people that would have to call and say, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. I would be one of those people where I would fall, and even if the fall was pretty bad, and even if it hurt my leg or hip, I'd still be able to pry myself up with my arms because I have that upper body strength. So thinking of avoiding falls for the elderly, you're not just benefiting yourself by strengthening your legs, but also even more important is your upper body, because the upper body is what's going to permit you to get up after the fall. So if anything, you need to strengthen your upper body. Yes, your legs need strength too, but your upper body and your core, especially your core, need strengthening. And so I was thinking of this when I was getting into the shower, and I thought that all the more reason to do ring training, all the more reason, because you're training your muscles and your tendons and your ligaments from the inside out. Now, if this is only 3 months of ring training, from September through December, then just think of what, if I continued this for a couple more years, like to age, say, 62 or something. Just think of what I would be then. It's really amazing to think. So I'm really happy about my progress, and I'm happy about sharing my progress with you. And I'm really excited about ring training. I want to help you become fit and become immune to any of these illnesses and sicknesses and falls. You need to have a better life. And so please subscribe to my channel, and I will teach you how to have a better life and how to get into shape for people of all levels. So thank you for joining me, and until the next video.